the groove, but we couldn't think of no words, so we were out in the studio around the mic, drinking Little Kings, Leaf of Milch wine, and then we just started singing test. You know, the engineer was saying, test the mic, and that's how that came about.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
that was just figuring out what you're going to do.
And they rolled tape, you know.
Well, you know, I always
if you
feel-
listen real close, you can tell we were drunk.
Wait, no, shh, Keith, shh. No, wait, the word you're looking for is you were inspired.
Inspired.
Come on. Not music. Do you want me to just let it play underneath you?
If you like, or
Totally up to you, sir.
just have it down a little lower.
Yeah. That's probably better.
Well, first he almost said it was Monday.
Bring chips for everybody. I always say. So what is the name of this class? I mean, what's the?
It's actually a popular culture class, but we focus on music.
Oh, the rock and roll. Well, I kind of got some rock and roll. Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am. Right. Well, 11:55 p.m. It's the latest it'll let us go.
How many in the class play an instrument? What do you play?
Drums.
Drums?
Guitar.
How many play an instrument? Piano? Great. Guys got some good original material that you work on? Not yet? Best time to do it at this age.
Oh, yeah.
My mother said I was creating music when I was in her womb. She
Oh,
said-
really?
She said you just patted your foot all the time.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of research showing that infants are musical.
Yeah.
They have rhythm. Good morning, everyone. I look at Keith when I do that. He's like, no, that's not right. But good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. It's a rare treat. Our class today features Dayton funk music legend Keith Harrison. And I'm not going to go through his bio because I think he can do it far better than I can. But it is a real honor for us to have him here speaking to our class. And he may, if you ask nicely, he may even let you look or touch the Grammy Award. Okay, I'm teasing now. I know Keith is nice. So you can take a look at some of the, this is just a small sample of the awards that he has. It is a real great opportunity for us to hear about a really important style and genre of music that is tied to the city of Dayton, funk music. So please join with me and welcome to our class, Keith Harrison.
Thank you. Yes. Again, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. I'm Keith Harrison. I was born on February 18th, 1952. Some of you probably you weren't born. In Dayton, Ohio, to James Jr. and Dorothy Harrison. When I was still a youngster, I developed an interest in music in my early teens and taught myself how to play organ and piano. And by the time I reached junior high, I formed my first musical band called the Medallions and earned the nickname Chop Chop. And the reason they nicknamed me Chop Chop is because I had these thick sideburns, and when I would play the clarinet, it looked like I was chopping because I was doing riffs so fast on the keyboard. During the late 1960s and early 70s, we won many talent shows and performed around the Dayton area for several years. In 1977, me and several of my friends formed the band Faze-O and recorded the one hit, Riding High, which was on She Record Label. She Record Label was created by Clarence Satchel, the late Clarence Satchel, who was the leader of the Ohio Players. And she stood for Serving Human Equality. We were the only group that was on that label because the label never did anything after that. We began national and international touring, playing to crowds of 80,000 plus, with worldwide renowned recording artists, including the Ohio Players, George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelics, and the Barcades. My musical career has spanned decades. I've been told I've earned a reputation as a renaissance man of the music industry. I have distinguished myself as a musician, performing artist, songwriter, producer, and arranger, and now a solo artist. A lot of people say, why do you wait till now to do a solo project? Timing is everything. You know, the world rolls in cycles, how music comes and goes, you know. So it depends on the state of what the world is in. What we're in now, we're in the need of healing. So people my age, maybe your parents' age, want to hear music that helps them with healing. And that type of music was the music that we did back in the day, which was R&B soul, the old rock and roll, those types of things. So that's why it's good for me that I did it now, because it fits what is the need in the market. My influences in the funk music landscape, showmanship, musical and vocal talents has gained me much popularity and afforded me the opportunity to perform, write, and record with some of the industry's greats, such as Faze-O, Heatwave, the Dazz Band, the Ohio Players, Jeff Lorber, Ray Parker Jr. Remember the song in Ghostbusters? Ray Parker Jr. wrote that. He had a group called Radio. The late Buddy Miles, he was the drummer for Jimi Hendrix. Low Key, Morris Day at the time, Charlie Wilson, and George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars, just to name a few. I have performed on top-rated syndicated television shows like Solid Gold, Soul Train, and Oprah Winfrey. Yes, I've been on the Oprah Winfrey show when I played with Morris Day at the time. Also on live and recorded projects across the U.S. and Europe, and my music has been featured in studio, independent films, TV commercials, and jingles. Some of the jingle music that I've done have been Sprite, Coca-Cola, Ohio Lottery Ticket, World Travel, and also back in the 70s when the Dayton Air Show would come here, they used to televise it, and I did all the music behind the televised Dayton Air Show. I also met an aerobatic pilot who comes every year. His name is Sean Tucker. So if any of you ever been to the Dayton Air Show, you'll see this guy. It's called Sean Tucker. I did a piece for him, so when he was flying up in the air, they played that music. Riding High is often sampled, song used by hip-hop and R&B artists. You can go to the website Who Sampled. You can type in any artist, back in the day and now, and it shows what hip-hop artists have sampled your music. So this will be an assignment for you. Go to www.whosampled.com, type in Faze-O, and you'll see how many people have sampled the song Riding High and two of the other songs on our record. The list that Who Sampled is EMPD, Snoop Dogg, Ghostface Killer, Redman, Devin the Dude as recurring users. Tonight's the Night, first single from the duo group Crisscross. Does anybody remember them? They wore their pants on backwards. They had a song called Tonight's Tonight. Well, the track to that is Riding High. Okay? That was on their third album, Young, Rich, and Dangerous, recorded the instrumental track Riding High that was certified gold in January 17, 1996. The Riding High instrumental track was also pronounced gold when Ice Cube used it in record company Pimpin'. War and Peace Volume 2, May 2000. It can also be heard in the movie soundtracks, Friday After Next. Has anybody saw that movie? Friday After Next. It's in that movie. Think Like a Man. That's in that movie. It's in that movie. And it's in a few other movies. When Ice Cube used the instrumental track, Riding High, and he titled the song Record Company Pimpin', I knew he was writing about us because he's talking about how a record company pimped us. And that's what happened to Faze-O. We got pimped. If anybody doesn't know what pimp means, look that up. It basically means that you got ripped off. That's an experience that will always be in me because Riding High is one of the biggest songs ever written from me and some of the co-writers. I am the recipient of many prestigious awards, including the Ohio Valley Gospel Excellence Music Award. That's this one right here. I did my first gospel CD with a young lady named Valeria Lark. It was called Reborn, a Celebration of Christ. And we won Best Group Duel in the state of Ohio for this. Pass that around if you like. Also, the Ohio Valley's Legends in Music Award. Yes, I'm a true legend. This was given to me by WROU-FM, the Ohio Valley Legends in Music Award, the Fly City Music Festival in 1994. And I was saying, I'm not a legend, I'm still doing music. But they recognized me as a legend, and that was quite an honor. Pass that around. Also, the People's Key to the City Award, and had the honor of performing at Bill Clinton's presidential inauguration. This is when myself and a pastor named Leon Wilkerson put together a housing choir for the Dayton Metropolitan Housing. It was the first housing choir in the United States, and we won 2 national awards and got invited to the President's Park to sing. But also at the inauguration is when I played with Morris Day and the Time Band. So that's twice that I was able to do something for that president at the time. In 2016, I was inducted into the R&B Hall of Fame with the Dazz Band, the Dayton Walk of Fame. How many know about the Dayton Walk of Fame here in Dayton? paver and the sidewalk, that's one of the greatest honors for me, because that will always be there even when I'm dead and gone, when my kids are dead and gone, when my grandkids are dead and gone. I will be remembered for doing something in the city, and that's really, really a great thing. So my paver is on the corner of West 3rd and William Street. And there's a big mural that they did in front of where my paver is. So they honor, every year they honor people throughout this city in different categories of their achievements and what they did in the city. And also I was inducted into the Dayton Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center. Have any of you been able to go check that out? You'll see a lot of my memorabilia stuff that's in there from back in the day with the band Faze-O. And they just did a funk mural that was recently created on Stone Avenue in back of the Neon Theater. There's a big wall that's a mural, and it's featuring a lot of local bands and musicians, inclusive of my image with Faze-O. And that's, you know, I could go on and on and on because of a lot of things I've done. This is another one of the most prestigious awards you can get in the music industry, in the Grammy Award. Received this with the Dazz Band for Best Performance by a Dual Group with Vocal. That was in 1982. This is how they made them back then with the wood face. Now you see them, it's a black face and it's plastic. So I like this better. Because it's wood, and that's copper, the bell on the phonograph there. Some of the things, like again, I could go on about a lot of other things that I've done in music, and sometimes it's hard for me to remember because I've done a lot and traveled all over the world, met so many people, and it's just been an honor in doing that. Professor asked me to talk about my approach to songwriting. Well, my approach to songwriting is first I come up with a musical groove. You know, I don't think of lyric first. I think of music first because I'm an instrumentalist. So when I go in my studio, I may hear a beat, and what I do, I hum it into my phone. I've got some grooves that I haven't, that I'm going to be working on. Let's see. Okay, here we go, right here. So I'm riding in my car and I hear this groove. And so I pull this out. That's the bass line. So that's how I start, and then I put a beat to it. So with that, now the next thing I do is think about tempo, because tempo is real important when writing music. In that you have to, I go to iTunes and I pull up what are the popular songs that people are listening to. And when I listen to it, I see what the tempo is, so I set my tempo at that particular tempo. Then I build from that, so I track the bass line and the drums, then I put chords on top, and then I come up with a hook. The hook is the chorus of the song. I was told by the great Diodato, I know a lot of you don't, you may not know who he is, but look him up. He's the one who wrote Space, the music to Space Odyssey. And he's from Brasilia. And he told me, he said, Keith, a chorus is like a hook. He said, you have to bait them in. He says, you throw out the reel and you reel them in. So I'll use an example. A lot of you know who Janet Jackson is, right? Did you ever hear the song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? By her. Anybody know that song?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the lyric to it?
It goes, what have you done for me lately? And then I forgot how the rest of it went.
See, that's the chorus though. That's the chorus. And that's what he's talking about, the hook. So that's what we hear. We hear that chorus first. What have you done for me lately? Dun 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 dun. Ooh, 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 yeah. So just that, and you block out the verses, because the hook is what you really like. And that's what pulls you into a song. The next thing that makes a song successful is if a record company, they do payola to radio stations. And they pay these stations big money to play their artists. And you have what you call heavy rotation, mid rotation, and light rotation. Heavy rotation, you hear the same song every hour on the hour. So, you know what that's doing to you? It's brainwashing. Because you may hate a song, but you hear it every hour, and then next thing you know, you walk into class and you're humming that song, or you sing it. And see, radio plays an important part, so they brainwash you when they have it every hour on the hour. Mid-rotation is where you hear a song 1, 2, 3, 4 times a day. Light rotation is 1 time a day. So companies pay radio stations big money to play their music. The minimum to get your music played on a major radio station, because radio stations now are ran by corporations. I think there's only 2, Radio 1. What's the other one, Art?
Clear Channel?
Yeah, Clear Channel. They own the radio waves, and everything's digitalized. You don't have any more DJs like you used to. You know, you call a number 2 and blah blah blah. Everything has been recorded digitally. Maybe you're hearing that this jockey, but he's not even there because he's pre-recorded himself. So the minimum just to get your music played is $80,000, and that's not even on all the stations. So after I write my hook, then I give it my co-writer, his name is Sam Whitlow. We've been writing together since the 90s, and come up with lyrics if I don't come up with a verse. And then the rest is history. I'll call in certain musicians after I lay the basic. I'll call in a guitar player to play some guitar licks. If I want live horns, I call in people I know who play live horns, trombone, sax, trumpet. Call them in, they come in, and they get paid to do a session. I show them the arrangement or teach them the arrangement, and they put it down. Any questions on approach to writing music? Yes?
Do you only write for yourself, or do you sometimes write music?
No, I write for other artists as well. Yeah. What I like to do is, that's where my production role comes in. If I'm working with an artist, I try to pull out of that artist what the artist is about, not what I'm about. That's where a lot of producers make mistakes. They I'm trying to do is not only educate you, but trying to get you to bring the best out of you musically that you have, because that's what we want to establish, what you're about. And so I do work with other artists. The thing I won't do, and I be honest, and I always tell them, this is my opinion. If I feel you're not talented, I won't waste my time. This is too much time to interview, and it would cost too much money for a person to do that. Sometimes I ask a person, do you write? You know, most of them don't. Some of them, but I have this song in my head. And I said, well, how did it go? So I said, well, you just wrote a song. You know, some people just have melodies and don't write. They just have a good melody. You know, and they work from that end of it. I like to work with people too that already have pre-product their song, meaning they come in and they have an idea for their song, or they have a demo of what they've done, and then we transfer it to the production. There's three things that people have got to understand. You have, or there's four. You have a producer, which is a fee. Well, let's start from, you have a producer, which is a fee. You have an engineer who built it into the studio cost, so you have studio cost, there's a fee. You have the person who may come in and arrange your song. If you don't arrange it, that's a fee. And then you have session players, that's another fee. So that's how the money can, you know, stack up. But with technology now, studio cost, it doesn't cost as much. You know, you're paying for the person behind it because of their expertise. Any other questions? Anybody?
Could you walk us through Riding High, like how that song came to be?
I knew you were gonna ask that. I don't bite my tongue to talk about it now. If it's with young kids, I don't, because I don't want them to see or hear the wrong image. Riding High is pretty self-explanatory. I was high. It's just that simple. And I tell you, back in the day, I did drugs, not to the extent, it was more social than I did it every day. So I'm sitting in the living room in my apartment. I have this big 88 Keith Fender Rose piano. And I drank a beer, and I think I took what they call a 714, which is a muscle release. And this groove came about. Boom, 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 boom. Then I put three chords. Dun, dun, dun. That's all that's in Riding High. Three chords in that bass line. And I started that at 7 in the evening, and I played that groove to 5 o'clock in the morning. My wife came in several times, honey, please go to bed. I can't take it no more. I said, this groove got me. I can't go nowhere with it. So the next day when I went to rehearsal, I taught it to the band. The drummer added a beat, the guitar player added his part, and I taught the bass player the bass lines, and he added some ad-lib parts. Lyrically now, we're coming out of Atlanta, Georgia, from doing a gig, and I'm driving. I got first driving. Guys in the back of the van, they're knocked out, and one of the road crews riding shotgun. So I take what they call a black beauty, which is speed, to keep me awake. Then the lyric popped up. So I said, look, man, take the wheel. I got a vibe to Riding High. And I took out the stationery from the hotel that we stayed at. And I said, I'm riding high or riding down the highway. I'm riding high, and I look back. Everybody was knocked out. Want to take me on a trip with me because I wanted them to feel what I felt. I said, I'm riding high. high. I can't feel my body because I was feeling numb. Then I said, I'm riding high. There's a funk in the breezeway. Now, what do you think that was? Where did that line come from? Anybody have an idea? I let gas. There's a funk in the breezeway. Then, the rest is history. The lead singer, Robert Neal Jr., wrote the second verse. Our producer at the time, Clarence Satchel, the late Clarence Satchel of Heatwave, said this song would never get played on radio because the second verse was even deeper. So we changed it to a love high, the second verse. And never in my life would I thought this song would have blew up the way it has. It reminds me of Snoop Dogg's Sipping on Gin and Juice group. It's just one group, you put it on, man, like you naturally fall into, you know, like it's soothing or something. So I'm just thankful. But that's during my 70 years smoking pot, drinking excessive alcohol, and popping the pill here and there. Because we were around that kind of stuff all the time. That's something you gotta watch if you get into the music industry. The drug pusher will get backstage before your fans will and introduce you to all this stuff. So in Heatwave and the Dazz Band, we were fortunate enough to have a security person to keep those kind of people away from us and not get backstage. But Mr. Art, to your question, that's how Riding High came about. But I am working on an autobiography. It's entitled Riding High, My Journey with Faze-O, Heatwave, and the Dazz Band. And in my book, I go even deeper into some of the things throughout my career and experience with those groups. So I hope the book will be out in spring. I'm going to be doing a book tour, and it's going to be called A Sing and Sign. I'll sing a song and then do the book signing. So I'll keep Art abreast of that, so make sure you get that information out. Or you can go to my website. It's www.dkharrison.com and find out a lot of information. Any other questions on that subject?
Oh, this is a different subject.
Okay.
What was your experience with Soul Train like?
Oh man, it was cool, you know, to see all the dancers doing those different dances. You know, back then everybody had big afros. It was pretty cool meeting Don Cornelius and with that deep voice. So you'd be surprised how quick they do those tapings because they do several ones, you know, in a day. Bring it in, bring it out. But it was really cool.
It must have been a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. The only thing I didn't like when Soul Train first started out, the groups were playing live, but as I guess as television technology grew, we had to mimic as if we were playing and singing. Excuse me. So I had to get used to that kind of stuff because you had to give the expressions like you were really singing it, you know. So it's kind of cool. Any other questions? Okay. Thoughts about working in the music industry? I love it. I love the music industry. Something changes every 6 months in the music industry. The only thing I don't like about the music industry is when products come out. Because a new product will come out in 6 months, they've changed. You spend all this money on this product. So I wait until after engineers and technology people have went in and, you know, broke it down and sent back the information to the people who created the music software. I think this needs to be tweaked or that needs to be tweaked, you know. So pretty much I like the software that's out there. I software a lot. A lot of people work with Cubase. I see where Cakewalk has come back with some new stuff. I like some of the digital plugins versus the outboard plugins. I still use some outboard gear because that's part of my sound. Drummers, they hate drum machines, and they hate electronic drums, but the industry has tweaked the drum kits, electric drum kits with the mesh heads and things of that nature. So when the drummer sits and plays it feels like he's hitting a real drum head on the mesh drum pad. So I do like where that's come. Production and any problems I face. Okay. Problems I feel I face in the industry is the streaming, because it's free. We make no money. Put a record out. I mean, your generation, you stream everything. You know, you don't download anymore. So it makes it hard on the artist who's trying to make a living. Even when you put your stuff on digital outlets, say like CD Baby, iTunes, Apple Music, you only make, what, 30 cents out of a dollar, something like that. Before, Apple Music would play your music for, I think it was 3 months before you got paid, but they were getting paid. And then Taylor Swift threatened to take her music off of iTunes and Apple Music if they didn't change that. And thank God for her, they changed it because she's such a big entertainer. I really like Taylor Swift. You know, I follow her a lot because she's been able to use social media to her advantage. And what I mean by that, she answers probably 60% of the tweets that she gets. She's invited people into her home. A lot of artists don't do that. You know, they love their privacy, but she does the opposite. And that's how she built her fan base so big, because she's put herself out amongst people who buy her music, walks with them, talks with them, and that's important. I think in today's music, paparazzi don't bother her. She uses it to her advantage, you know. There's been good and bad behind it, but look at the war shows, who's winning all the time. That shows you how much love she has from the people in the music world. To knock down that many awards and have that kind of popularity, I can't imagine what her bank account was. At that young age, she's still in her 20s, right?
Yeah.
I think, come on, man, wow. But I can tell you this, it only takes one hit. So if you got it in you to write, or you inspired to write music, and just go on YouTube, that's what she did, remember? She was on YouTube playing her guitar. And she got over 1 million something hits, and the rest is history with her. So if you are an inspired writer, if you're just playing instrument just for pleasure, that's okay too. But you might have something in you to be the next $1 million writer. Because artists are always looking for other people to write for them as well. So think about that. You can be behind the scenes. Because writers is who make the money. Performers don't. You know, you're out there on a 30-day tour. After that, it's over. But the music is constantly getting played and money's constantly coming in. So being inspired to become a writer, producer, arranger, those are the people who make money in the music industry. Publishing, most people publish their own music now, you know, because what's happening is they're cutting out the middleman. You don't need the middleman anymore. But I still believe one of the things that's a problem for me is not being able to get your music on radio. You know, even after this thing, after all the things I've done, and I come out with my first solo CD entitled One Love's R&B Soul, radio won't play it. I'm on a Jewel Key label, and they can't give you a reason why they won't play it. I said, is it money? And you know, I mess with money's no problem. And they still won't do it. They won't even listen to it. I can't even get on radio here in our own hometown. So to me, that's a problem. It creates a problem. That needs to change. It really needs to change, because if you guys don't hear it, you'll never know about it. And you need to hear it. You need to hear it. There's a lot of good music out here that never gets heard. And we need to hear it.
What's it like to tour Europe? What's it
Europe
like to
is
tour outside the U.S.?
Very different, and it's better. I love it. That's why you see a lot of American artists go overseas and they blow up over there, and then for some reason, then the States want to jump on your music. It should be the opposite, but you appreciate it more in Europe, because Europe is universal. They love all music, whether country and western to rock and roll, punk rock, jazz, R&B, funk. They love it all. And over here, you pitched in category. You pitched in pop, R&B, hip hop, you know. Who knows, what does pop music mean? Anybody tell me that? Exactly. Music that's popular. They call it pop music. It doesn't mean that it's white music or black music. It's music that's popular. What has happened now, you have a lot of popular music crossing over into rhythm and blues. I'll tell you one artist I really love, I forgot to mention, Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars has been able to take our style of music back from our time and mix with the music today, and he's an extraordinary performer. But the way he's done it, he was a genius at it. You got a lot of artists who hate him. Because he's copying our music. No, he's not. He's not copying. I mean, you create by what you hear. You hear somebody doing something, you bound to hear. There's no copyright on the drum beat. Beethoven and all those guys were writing music back in the day. There was no copyrights on that stuff, you know. But so R&B is rhythm and blues. Now they call it hip hop R&B. You know, they cut out just rhythm and blues. It's called hip hop R&B, and then hip hop. I guarantee you, if you pull the two up, they both still sound the same. I hear no real R&B music. There's some artists that are starting, like I said, coming back with R&B. You know, they're using today's sounds, which we have become accustomed to hearing. You know, those particular sounds versus the old school sound, acoustic sound. So, yes.
Before class started, you and Dr. Dre were talking about how you grew up in like a farm town and things like that. How did your upbringing influence like your style of music?
Well, growing up on the farm, first of all, my dad didn't want me to be a music, so that's what drove me to prove to him. Because when I turned 18, I asked my mother, where did I get the interest in that to want to play piano? And my mother said, come with me, boy. And she took me out to our playroom where we had a piano. And And she sat down in front of the piano, she opened up the hymn book, and she started reading and playing. I cried like a baby. I said, Mom, why? You could have been teaching. She said, your dad threatened me never to let you know that I could do music, because he didn't want you to be in the music business. Because he said music was all drugs and alcohol and da-da-da-da-da. And so, I got so angry at my father. I hated my father for many, many years. And it was because of him I stuck with it, I think. You know, it drove me, because I wanted to prove to him I could make it. And when I did put my first record out, he bragged about me so much, and we, you know, and then we came back together, and we were like, you know, brother and father and son. But I don't know where I guess it was because of the type of music we were listening to, like James Brown, Sly and the Family Stone. Those were all funky songs. So when we had our band, Medallion, the first band, we played top 40 music. That was when you played that music, you learn a song, you play it, and then you create another group off from that. So I think those were my influences. James Brown, thanks for asking that. James Brown, Sly and the Family Stone. That's the only two I can really think about that I really love that music. And then as time went on, got into the vocal thing, like Earth, Wind and Fire, listening to their vocals, and then hooked up with Heatwave and Rod Templeton, which showed me what he called a zebra chord. It's like you play a minor and add a major note in the minor chord. And it's kind of like, but he says, but you just want to have that note subliminally where it draws the ear. So a lot of Heatwave music was popular because of his kind of zebra chords. One of the things he did, he wrote, everything he wrote, Heatwave had first given to him before he could give it to anybody else. But Johnny Wilder, who was the lead singer of Heatwave, had the final say-so. And when he turned down Rock With You, I was like, oh no, this is definitely a Heatwave song. But Johnny Wilder turned it down. He gave it to Michael Jackson. Look what happened. Rod Templeton wrote Michael Jackson's biggest selling record, Off the Wall. So I'm proud to have been able to work with Rod Templeton and up under him. I learned a lot from him. Yes.
I have a little bit of a two-part question. It's unrelated to what you were just talking about, but you said that you toured a lot in like Europe and the States. What's your favorite place to tour? Like, what's your favorite location?
Japan.
Japan. And then my other part of this question is, like money aside, like would you rather be in the studio for most of your time or be out touring? Like I know the payout's different, but like out.
Well, as I've gotten older, in the studio, when I was younger, I was touring.
Why?
It was fun, you know. A lot of the groups I were in were big groups. Dazz Band, there was 9 of us.
Okay.
So we had a lot of fun on the road, you know, playing jokes on each other. Or, when we go to the radio stations and do promos. Hi, we're the Dazz Band. When we're in town, we listen to 92 point, blah, blah, blah. You don't hear that anymore. We would do record in stores where they had record shops. They have displays of your records. And they got a table set up. Hundreds of people come in and sign autographs. That's how you promoted to music back then. They don't have that anymore, you know. And it was just that brotherhood, you know, being with those guys. And on the road was the only time that we would really, you know, express ourselves in different ways. just the energy, being able to, you know, move back and forth on stage and things of that nature. But as I grew in the music industry, got older, learning more about recording techniques and things of that nature, I became more comfortable being in the studio writing music, not only for myself but for other people. So it's kind of balanced itself out. You know, now I'm kind of ready to get back out there, you know, and do it a different way though. You know, I can't move around on stage like I used to. I know that. These old bones out. So that's something else you got to think about, how you pace yourself, because you know the lights is like 200 degrees. You know, you dehydrate yourself very quickly with all this hot lights. And half the time you can't even see half the audience because of the spotlights. So you can only see the first 10 rows. Everything else is black, so you have to pretend like you see people. How y'all doing back there? You know, and you really don't see them. So those kind of things kind of cool too. But to see people click their lighters, and you see 60,000 people doing that, man, wow, awesome.
We're just about out of time. So this has to be our last question.
Okay.
Whoever had the last question?
I do have CDs here if anybody want to purchase one, and I also have some free download cards for anybody who like one. You can go to CD Babies on the back, and you'll be able to download one of my songs off the CD.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you said did you grow up in Dayton?
Yes, I did. I grew up in Jefferson Township on a small 7-acre farm. We had pigs, chickens, and a pony. We had an orchard. We had a cornfield. So my father built us a half-court basketball court. The orchard was our track field around it. We built a baseball field down by the cornfield. Hit the ball in the cornfield, that was a home run. We used chicken wire as a backdrop. And it was down the hill, and in the winter, we used the hill to sleigh ride. And then we had another open field was our football field. And so all the kids in the neighborhood would come to our house for recreation. And so it was kind of cool. We had dogs. We had a pet duck that would fly out of the coop every morning and fly up to the back door and peck on the door to eat. And one day we didn't hear that peck, and we went out looking for the duck, and we had a boxer, and he came around, he had feathers in his mouth. I said, oh no, and we went to the front yard, and he killed the duck. Yes, I'm still local. Yes. Yeah. And I tell you, one of the funnest things was to create jingles, because here you have to impact everything in 60 seconds. But the people will tell you, this is the product we're selling, this is the audience we wanted to appeal to, and we're looking for this style of music. And they want it in a 72-hour turnaround. And man, I tell you, we do that. But the Sprite jingle I did, I used it for this Soul Train Music Awards, and they used that jingle 2 years straight. So every time that jingle got paid, I got paid.
Well, if you want to purchase a CD, come see Keith. For people who want to get a taste, and I highly encourage you, the new record is terrific. There's a limited number of free download cards there as well. Join with me in thanking Keith Harrison for coming in and talking with us. Out of the kindness of his heart, if I had to pay him, I could not afford it.
Oh, I guess you could.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Keith.
you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.